6 days into the joint US-Israeli air and naval war against Iran, the conflict has entered a critical phase. While neither Israel nor Iran has officially disclosed their military casualties, the United States has confirmed that some of its troops have been killed and wounded by Iranian forces, though specific numbers have not been released. What is clear, however, is that the scale of the aerial bombardment is unprecedented, and Iran's ability to sustain its missile campaign is rapidly diminishing. The air campaign, massive firepower from land and sea. The United States has deployed approximately 200 warplanes in the operation, including B-52, B-1, and B-2 strategic bombers, which are actively striking targets across Iran. Analysts estimate that the U.S. naval presence in the region includes as many as 25 warships. The U.S. Navy has confirmed that 2 aircraft carriers, the USS Harry S, Truman, and the USS Abraham Lincoln, are conducting strike missions. Each carrier can carry up to 70 aircraft, including F-35, F-22, F-16, and F-18 fighter jets. On land, US forces are operating F-15s from regional bases. In a surprising incident, Kuwaiti U.S. ally shot down 3 US F-15s using surface-to-air missiles. Kuwaiti officials admitted that the downing was a mistake, stating that they were surprised by the aircraft and decided to engage. The 3 pilots survived the incident. The U.S. military presence in the region has now surpassed 50,000 personnel, with plans for further increases. Israel has been equally active, launching more than 1,000 airstrikes across Iran over the past 6 days. The Israeli Air Force, which operates over 300 fighter jets, including F-35s and F-16s, has focused on Iranian military targets, missile storage sites, factories, and production facilities. Among the most significant strikes was an attack on Iran's nuclear facility in Isfahan province. Israel claims to have struck nearly 2,000 Iranian targets since the campaign began. Air combat. Losses on both sides. The aerial war has not been without losses. Iran has lost at least 2 of its F-22 fighter jets, and on March 4th, an Israeli F-35 shot down an Iranian fighter jet in an air-to-air engagement. Israel has not reported any losses of its own aircraft or personnel, despite rumors circulating on Iranian media that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had died. Netanyahu's office dismissed these claims as a hoax, and on the night of March 4th, the Prime Minister appeared publicly, ordering the military to intensify combat operations against multiple Iranian targets. Iran maintains an air force of more than 300 fighter jets, but its ability to contest the skies has been severely hampered by the destruction of its air defense systems. Iran's missile campaign. Numbers and challenges. Despite the intense bombardment, Iran has continued to launch ballistic missiles at Israel and U.S. military bases across the Middle East. As of 7:00 p.m. on March 4th, Iran's military reported that it had fired 771 ballistic missiles since the war began on February 28. At the height of the conflict, Iran was launching hundreds of missiles per day. However, observers now warn that Iran's missile stockpiles are being rapidly depleted. According to multiple sources, Iran is the world's largest missile producer, surpassing even Russia. In early 2024, Iran was estimated to possess between 300 and 1,500 ballistic missiles. By early 2025, the number had grown to approximately 3,000 medium and long-range missiles, thanks to accelerated production. The Institute for the Study of War estimates that before the first Israeli-Iranian war broke out in June 2025, Iran had between 2,500 and 3,000 missiles. During the 12-day war that followed, Iran fired about 500 ballistic missiles at Israel, though 90% were intercepted. In the current conflict, Iran has already used more than 770 missiles in just 5 days, according to Iranian media. The missile supply, production, exports, and destruction. Iran's missile capabilities are substantial but complex. The country is believed to have up to 80,000 missiles in total, but most of these are short-range systems. 2 types, the Kamikaze and the Shahed, are being exported to Russia for use in its invasion of Ukraine, with each missile costing up to $20,000. Before the current war, Iran was the largest exporter of missiles to Russia, a supply line that has now been disrupted by the conflict. Military experts believe that most of Iran's missile stockpiles have been destroyed by US and Israeli airstrikes. The US has deployed heavy B-52, B-1, and B-2 bombers, each capable of carrying up to 30 tons of munitions. to target Iranian missile sites, including underground storage facilities and production lines. The Institute for the Study of War estimates that Iran may now have fewer than 1,500 missiles remaining, and if the bombing continues at its current pace, Iran could run out of missiles within the next 10 days. Naval warfare. Iranian warships sunk. The naval dimension of the conflict has also taken a toll on Iran. The United States has sunk approximately 20 Iranian warships, reducing Iran's naval fleet from 90 vessels to around 70. These warships carried anti-ship missiles, and their loss has further diminished Iran's ability to project power in the Gulf. The US has confirmed the destruction of 17 Iranian warships, representing a significant blow to Iran's naval capabilities. The endgame. Air supremacy and ground invasion. US Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has stated that within a week, US and Israeli forces will achieve complete air supremacy over Iran. If that happens, Iran's ability to launch missiles at its enemies will be all but eliminated. With its missile stockpiles depleted and its air defense systems destroyed, Iran will face a stark choice: prepare for a ground invasion or face internal collapse. Observers note that Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps and security forces are already showing signs of strain. As the missile campaign falters, Iran's ground forces may be forced to confront a potential US-Israeli ground invasion with diminished capabilities. At the same time, internal opposition to the Islamic Republic is growing. Analysts estimate that at least 80% of the Iranian people desire a new regime, and many Iranians abroad are preparing to return home if the government falls. Regime change on the horizon. The prospect of regime change is now being openly discussed. Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, a prominent opposition figure, is reportedly preparing to lead a transitional government if the Islamic Republic is overthrown. Female politicians and other opposition leaders are also positioning themselves for a post-regime future. As US and Israeli forces continue to pound Iranian military targets, and as Iran's missile arsenal dwindles, the 47-year-old Islamic Republic finds itself at its most vulnerable moment. Whether the regime will fall to external military pressure or internal uprising remains to be seen. What is clear is that the conflict has entered its final decisive phase, and the outcome will reshape the Middle East for generations to come.